I've always wanted to survive in a world where I could do anything I wanted, build whatever I want and just enjoy the game. And today I've decided to create that world, one where I'll survive 500 days and finally bring all my dreams to life. In this video I'll build an incredible base with a castle, all kinds of farms, explore every structure and take down the toughest bosses. This video turned out to be super interesting, sometimes intense and even funny. The link to download this world is in the description. I'm Skillux and let's begin. Okay, my journey starts in a calm and cozy spot with cherry blossom forest visible in the distance. That's where I'm planning to set up my base. But before any big building projects, I need to gather some basic resources. After a bit of exploration, I stumble upon a village, and to be honest, the view here is absolutely stunning. I grab everything I need from the village: bed, chest loot, and steel hay bales. I've got 23 here, which should be plenty to start with. Now I need to find the perfect spot for my future base. And after a couple more minutes of traveling, I finally reach the biome of Cherry Mountains, and sunsets here are just magical. I think this hill is perfect for the base. Just look at this landscape. I was considering recording with shaders, but I'm not sure if my computer could handle it, so I'll just show you the best moments. I spent my first night here, set up a small camp, leave a chest, and head out to explore the local cliffs. Soon enough, I find a cave with a river flowing through it. There are a ton of resources here, and the river even flows to the other side of the mountain, which looks just amazing. I'm gonna need a lot more resources to level up in the future, so keep mining downwards. And soon stumble upon a cave, where I start gathering iron. Man, I still don't have any armor and these mobs are... No, please, one heart, gotta hide somewhere fast. Oh no. To be honest, I thought I'd have to start from the scratch again. For the record, this is my second attempt at recording this video, and the first time I died after a pretty long run. So yeah, I really don't want to do everything again. Finally, in a safe spot, I set up a small checkpoint and start smelting my iron. I craft a shield and a bucket, and it's time to head back and take on those mobs. There are even those warden's caves around here, so I'd better stay low-key. Craft a pickaxe, mine first diamonds, redstone, and keep going down. I make a pickaxe, smelt the iron, craft chestplate and leggings, and now I'm ready to continue exploring these caves. Wandering through the winding tunnels, I mine a lot of resources, find beautiful crystals, and finally come across lava lake. Perfect for collecting obsidian, which is exactly what I came here for. Mission accomplished, time to head back to the surface. Once back on the surface, I sort through my resources and prep the area for building. With the last of the iron smelted, I craft a helmet and boots, and now we've got a full iron armor set. Next, I start preparing the mountain for our future build. First, I place down some stone and then cover it with a layer of dirt. It's really starting to look good. I keep leveling out the surrounding area, dodge an annoying spider, and use more dirt to finish off the landscaping. Man, things look so gorgeous with shaders. I wish my computer could handle it for a long time. My computer just hits really fast and then... I keep gathering dirt and flattering out the space. As for the base, I found this picture of a castle online. Not the best quality, but I love the design. I think we'll come up with something inspired by it. Once the stone batch is melted, I start outlining the build using bricks. Ugh, these phantoms! They're driving me nuts! Won't even let me leave. Well, I didn't gather quite as much stone as I thought. Looks like it's time to start mining. And I've decided to dig down like this, so we can eventually put an elevator here, but for now we'll stick with the ladders. Also, I dug right into a cave under our mountain with a river running through it.
Hello there.
I think we could build something here. I'll save that project for later. For now, I've collected enough cobblestone, and it's time to do something with it. But first, another round of laddering the area. The raider dropped an ominous potion in the bottle. Anyway, I've marked the outline for our build, and honestly I thought this castle would end up being way bigger, and I may have miscalculated our mine, but I'll fix it later. Right now I'm crafting a new shield and planning to head to the Nether. We'll need plenty of resources, and I decided to start with a goal to craft boots. I spot a fortress nearby, so started exploring. First I hit corridors to see if there are any chests, but find some troubles here, and as usual not much worth grabbing. At least I got enough nether wart for later. How do you even fight these things? And how does that guy is flying so high? Chest number 2... saddle? That might actually come in handy. Oh, pearl! I probably wandered around here for a good 15 minutes before finding this. Now the tricky part is building the bridge. Thankfully we have enough blocks, so now I just need to figure out how to loot this bastion safely. I decided to build my way over to the gold first so I could mine it. Soon enough I found some piglins to trade with. Let's just hope that they give us something useful. In the end I wasted all my gold and got only 4 pearls. Another debris! I'll take that. Okay, let's start with the chest. Oh, what? What did I just find? Oh, no way. Is it even possible to be lucky like that? So, nothing much in this bastion. So I decided to move on and keep exploring. So here's a bit of a problem, I'm totally out of food. And the good news is that I'm in a Crimson Forest, and it turns out they're handing out free food here. Finally, I stumbled upon a second bastion. You guys have no idea how long that took. This bastion has some of the best loot, so we're in for a good haul. Bam, bam, bam. First chest, not bad, iron, golden carrots and another ancient debris. The second chest has even more gold and another debris. The third one didn't have anything super useful, but I grabbed the crossbow since it's a solid weapon for now. This part is actually a bit risky because of the piglins everywhere around us. I could go all out and try to stir up some action, but honestly playing in hardcore mode with just iron armor is very dangerous. So I decided to keep trading with normal piglins, but this time I made a mistake. No, hold on, no, run. I really thought I was done. Thank goodness there wasn't a brute piglin or I'd be tossed. In another we've got netherite scrap, some gold and soul speed 3 book. And the center is the real prize. And a chest? Whoa, an upgrade! Boots and an ingot! No way we've got it all from one chest. Kitty, kitty, kitty. This time I just have to get pearls. After using up all the gold, I finally got 12 pearls and a bunch of extra loot. Oh, now it's time to find our way home. I just got an idea. If I ride a strider, it'll be way faster to reach the portal. The only problem is that it ran off, so I'll have to use my saddle after all. Back at the base, our chests are filling up with new resources, and most importantly, we're moving forward with our castle build. For now though, I'm running low on resources from the overworld, so I head out to explore and hopefully find something useful. On the way there is a village, and the best part, there is hay bales here, which is great since I'm down to just 5 golden carrots. Plus we need a lot of sugarcane for paper and books, but I'll have to find some more of that. Technically I should be working on the castle, but honestly it's such a huge project and I've never done something like this before. I think I'd be smart to focus on gathering the resources first. So next up I'll be trading with a cartographer, farming some emeralds and of course getting new maps. First we'll need a lot more paper, so I've decided to create a sugarcane farm. But it's gonna take a lot more than we have right now. Look at this cutie little guy! Man, armadillos are so adorable. After some sugarcane harvesting, I head back to the village. I've got almost a stack of it now, plus the cane we already had, so I'm planning to replant it nicely in a new area. By the way, I heard from a lot of people that the sugarcane grows faster on dirt than on sand, so let's see if that's true. And as you can see, the sugarcane is growing pretty much the same on both dirt and sand. Most of it grew 2 blocks tall, sometimes even more, so there you go, a little myth busting for you. I replant the sugarcane, double the batch, and AFK for more 30 minutes. On the second level, I unlock the Ocean Explorer map and can sell glass paints too, so that's what I'll work on next. When most of the glass is ready, I farm more emeralds, unlock all the trades, and buy the Training Basement Explorer map, Woodland Mansion and Ocean Explorer maps, since we'll be visiting those soon too. After farming more emeralds and sugarcane, I return to the base. With plenty of paper on hand, I craft books and get ready to start enchanting soon. Right now, I set up a storage area with more chests and start sorting everything since our resources keep piling up. Next, I decide to keep digging down in my mine to reach lapis for enchanting, cause I still don't have it. I'm aiming for the lowest depths, and soon enough I hit deep slate, find diamonds, and even come across a cave which I decide to explore. Whoa, you see that wall? It's kind of suspiciously placed here. Oh, 3 diamonds! And I finally found some lapis, so we'll be able to enchant soon and be fully geared up. I also decided to dig behind that wall to see what's there, and as it turns out, there is actually something. I'm not an expert in the latest updates, but I think... Whoa, here we are. Alright, looks like we have to explore in iron armor. Hope it's not too dangerous. Wait, is it a mouth? Is it something like a chest? There is some weird spawner in the center, but it's dead quiet. Some water here too, looks like a secret passage. And I read somewhere that the blocks under the spawner tell you what it will... Oh, this one is slime because of the green blocks. And the key. And yeah, the spawner is useless. Wonder why they even put it here. Let's sneak further down. And I found a breeze. Oh man, get lost. Whoa, it's bubbling all over. Alright, see ya. This basement is wild. More loot and diamonds. What is this? A bow? Yeah, like I need that. Those slams though, gonna take them for sure. Oh no, oh no. Ooh. How am I supposed to fight off the skeletons without getting nailed? And the boss of the vaults needs some special key, but where am I supposed to get this one? By the way, we can break those vases and get new resources. What about drinking a potion? I heard something interesting will happen. And spiders are everywhere. Those slimes. I swear this place is cursed. Those arrows. Run! Please! Oh my god! Run! These skeletons don't mess around though. They popping up with armor and everything. Gotta keep my distance. And why are these slimes even here? Oh yeah, now I'm getting potato drops. Mmm, how tasty!
I mean, it's alright!
Oh, I just noticed. My armor don't really like those fights. How's this place is not nuclear by now? Oh, golden apple. Not bad. After clearing out enough to get back up, I got another boss of the keys. And this vault, it's not giving me any loot. Oh, no way, golden apple. How many of those skeletons are there? Oh no, gotta eat my apple. Die already! Ooh. Oh no! No! Oh, no way I made it into this room! I was about to die in there! Ouch! You see, they even reload their bows to be ready. Have you seen something like this before? Some of them are even in a diamond armor. Ouch! These arrows! No way I die in here! I'll beat your ass! You hear me, skeleton? Ouch! And still nothing useful. This place is cursed for real. Oh my god, where I'm at? Oh my god, where I'm at? Oh no. How do I get out of here? How do I get out? Golden apple, please. Oh, I'm leaving, I'm still leaving. Please. What are you? They're not letting me there. Oh no, this spider. Die already. Just great, down to my last bottles of honey. You guys know that honey fills only 1 hunger, right? 1 heart per bottle. Pretty useless at this rate, but we don't have anything else. And this vault, it's not giving me any loot. Is there even a way out? Out of food, armor is gone, and I'm beat. Feels like I survived the apocalypse in there. And finally, after what felt like ages, I got back up to the surface. Upon arriving home, I crafted a full set of diamond armor and decided to take a short journey to the village I'd seen from afar but never visited. We're pretty low on food, so any supplies like hay bales, apples and potatoes will be super useful. Now we'll also need some more wood. And finally, we can relax a bit. Protection pants, protection chestplate, unbreaking boots, looting sword, and let's also craft a few extra shields for backup. I just remembered we have some small thingies left from the trial basement. Man, these things are so fun. I'm really getting distracted. We still haven't even started on our castle, but first I need to deal with our food situation, which has become a bit of a problem. Scavenging hay from the villages isn't really sustainable, so we're gonna need some mechanisms. Hoppers, lava, dispensers, and some fancy redstone mechanisms to automate this properly. Oh, with the stone button, everything works perfectly. Now we add some glass, and the killing chamber is ready. Now all we need are some panties. Patience. I mean cows. Come on, come over here. Are you serious? You gotta fall there. Ugh. Call number 2. Hopefully you cooperate.
Huh? No!
Oh, just fall there. Yes, success. Now we just need to breed them little by little. Once the calf grows, it'll meet the lava and then heysha! Now as for the castle, we need to finally start building it. This project is gonna require a ton of resources, so we need to start gathering them. What am I doing in the nether, you ask? Good question. We're gonna need a ton of quartz for the build, so it's time to mine. So my pickaxe is breaking from all the quartz mining, and I decided to enchant a new one and combine it with a mending one to keep things going, and it turned out to be even better than I expected. That was a serious mining, and I've been at it for an hour and I didn't even manage to get a full row of quartz blocks. Get lost, zombie! The pit looks like nothing that goes in there ever comes back alive. But that's exactly where we need to go to mine diorite. Turns out around 0 altitude there are some pretty decent veins of the stuff. I managed to gather a solid amount of material from just one vein. Back on the surface, a trader was waiting for me, and best of all... Our resources are replenishing, but there is still one thing left to gather: warped wood for the roof. I found out a cool crafting trick. Apparently you can smelt quartz into smooth quartz, which is exactly what we need, but we're running low on coal. As for the cow farm, it's working perfectly, I just need to breed them more frequently. Now that we finally have all the necessary resources, I'm starting construction. My plan was to create a gradient from the gray to white, which is why I used diorite blending with the quartz. I laid out a solid foundation, but there is one problem. I'm out of quartz. I have a feeling we're gonna need a ton of it, especially considering the towers I'm planning to build. And on top of that, food is running low again, so I have to remember to breed our babes. Okay, back to business. We need to find more food. We've pretty much looted everything in the village. Time to move on. Oh, we need potatoes too. With each passing minute, these cakes with legs look more appetizing. Oh wow, jackpot! Free food and even some copper to mine. You can use copper to craft brushes, and with those you can scrap the cakes to get their shells. The shells can be used to craft dog armor, but first I'll need to find some dogs.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
But now we have some other homework to do. We've still got a ton of work left on the castle, so we're gonna need a lot more quartz. This time I spent over 2 hours mining, which you guys get to watch in just a few seconds. So yeah, I've gotta say, I just spent 2 hours of my pretty pointless life mining for you guys, and here's all the quartz I could get. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be enough, but let's cross our fingers. I don't exactly feel like diving back into the nether again. On my way out I kept running into more quartz. For anyone keeping score, I've already mined 2000 blocks of ore. Finally heading back home. Time to smelt all this. And I also need some warped wood for the project. So here I am, working on this build for over an hour, and once more you all get to watch it in just a few seconds. I started on the towers, but then I hit a snag. Need iron trapdoors for the roof's base, and I'm running low on iron.
فورتنايت لبابا جي
بابا جي
بابا جي لإكس بوكس سيريس إكس
بابا جي
بابا جي لبلا ستيشن 5
على ستيشن 5
بلا ستيشن 5 للوجيتك.
Iron is smelting, quartz is cooking, and me just waiting it out. Now time to get back to building. I'm working right from the design I'm referencing. Off camera, I gathered more iron for these ridiculous trapdoors and finally continued with the roof. Meanwhile, our cow farm has been busy multiplying, but there is somehow dropping dead on the upper level. So yeah, the farm is not exactly working like it should. Now there is all this unused space in these towers. I set up a staircase in the tower, and now we have to move our enchanting table somewhere else. So yeah, adding more pathways, and I decided to put in extra effort to make both sides look clean and convenient to use. Gotta make sure this place turns into a solid base. Not much is set up inside yet, but that's already for the future. For now, I'm moving the portal to a new spot and back in the nether, farming more warped wood. And also I need some more iron for those ridiculous trapdoors. Oh, a freebie music disc! Nice! This place is kinda cool. There is some water? It's actually clouds. I didn't realize it at first. Meanwhile the iron is melting, I'm still dealing with a constant food shortage. Never seems to last long. Anyway, now we have to start building up the towers. The one I'm working on right now is gonna be really tall. Inside, I'll add a staircase and windows to keep an eye on what's going on outside. Then I'm throwing in a watchtower head on top, with a more level stacking up to the sky. After that, I started on the interior, at least to get some kind of layout and space, so it's not just a big empty shell. I blocked off the outer paths and walls so the inside space is free for yet another tower by the look of it. Right now the base looks pretty cool from the outside. Need to work on the surroundings and get the inside looking good. But I'm so done mining quartz for now. I still got that map for the trial chamber and we never found the maze, so we can head over there since it's not too far. Another music disc! Nice! So in the right place, I dig down, find some diamonds, and after about 10 minutes finally hit the basement rooms. We got the first key, a music disc, some iron, and these mobs won't stop swarming me. Chill out already! Okay, let's drink this potion. We need some more hardcore, if you know what I mean, Jellybean. Made it into a new room, skeletons. They hit like trucks, skeletons from every direction, and now they're fighting each other. Alright, let's see who wins. Chainmail or gold armor? Oh, come on, the chain guy set the gold guy on fire. That's dirty. Yep, gold is down. Told ya, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. Oh, nice, enchanted golden apple and an emerald block.
Nice.
Zombies with swords are showing up now, though, so I'd better watch out. Zombie spawner? What is even going on here? Chaos is everywhere. Oh no. How do I get out of here? How do I get out? Golden apple, please! Oh, please, please! What are you? They're not letting me there! Oh no, please! Oh no! Oh. Did you see that? I was this close to dying. Oh wow, my diamond armor is wrecked, and I enchanted it before coming here.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Oh, pearls! Dude, they keep tossing me around like a ragdoll! Oh, another key. Alright, let's open this chest. Please, maze. Another music disc and a golden apple. But seriously, another disc? What am I, a DJ? And here come the skeletons again. This is getting ridiculous. They're fighting each other. Maybe I'm the real third wheel here. I found a secret room with a chest. New key? Okay, please, mace. Oh, it dropped! Finally, the heavy core! I'm done. I'm so done. My armor's trashed, my nerves are fried, and I'm not sticking around any longer. Let's craft this thing and dig out of here. I can't wait to test this new mace. Just need to wait for the nightfall so I can smack some poor soul with it. While waiting, I decide to explore the entire map so we can hang it up somewhere nice later. So yeah, I've never really used this tornado thingies before. Gotta figure out how to aim with them. One more try, and BAM! Ooh, look at those shards, man. Dang, and these things. Wait, what? I can launch myself with it? Check this out. Boom! Just absolutely obliterating that guy's head. Now let's round up a zombie army and wreck him. Take this. Look, they're flying around everywhere like ragdolls. This mace is so sick, I'm obsessed with it. Take that. Look at this, another one bites the dust. Total carnage. Now let's move our enchanting table to the new spot. My plan is to throw some killer enchants on our mace so it can take down anything. But after a few lame attempts, I decide not to waste all my XP for nothing. So I grabbed some spare boots, crafted new helmet, and yeah, chestplate and leggings need some love too. First up, I enchanted the helmet with protection 3, got infinity on bow, then boosted the chestplate with unbreaking 2, also efficiency 4 book, and added unbreaking and protection to the leggings. Finally, I hit density 5 on my mace. It's basically like sharpness on a sword. And now we're set to dish out some serious damage. But right now I'm supposed to be working on the central tower. Yet I cannot be bothered to dig more quartz from the nether. I'm so burnt out from building, you have no idea. This was not in the job description. So let's take a little break and go on an adventure instead. I think we can go for an ocean monument and woodland mansion this time. After a while, I found a pack of stray dogs in the savannah, and by morning, after grinding on skeletons all night, I've got a massive dog army. Skeleton, you better run. And we can breed them and color their colors. We're passing through some jungles, so might as well grab bamboo for later. Finally, we're closing in on the ocean monument, so it's time to get ready. Dogs, stay here. Crafting some emergency doors. And now it's time to storm the fish empire. Basically all we've got are doors, so we'll need to be extra careful here. We just circle around these columns and take it down easily. There's the second one, found it pretty quickly. It's gone down to that lowest area. There is so many of these tiny fish down there. Absolute chaos. Man, these doors are lifesavers, it's insane. And boom! Got it. Alright, the third one is just chilling here. There is no one left to save him now. We're taking it down with no mercy. And there we go, third one is down. Once all the fish bosses were deleted from here, I returned to the main room, waited for mining fatigue effect to wear off, and legally looted 8 free gold blocks. I also found some sponges and grabbed more of the unique blocks around here, though if I'd had more inventory space, I would have taken it all apart. Then back to the surface. After regrouping with the dog squad, I decided to invest a little time into some upgrades for my friends. Suiting them up in armor turned them into armored larvae. What a cutie! Bim, bim, bim. Aww. Unfortunately, as we headed toward the woodland mansion, we hit the ocean. And it turns out dogs can teleport over water. Not about to lose the pack, I decided to head home. Once back, I set up comfy spots for all the dogs at our base, planted some bamboo in cherry forest, and finally got back to building the central room. We're seriously running out of storage space here. Of course, that meant another round in the nether for more quartz. Did you know that ghasts can shoot through zombie piglins? They actually make a solid shield. Wow. After stocking up on quartz, I smelted it down and started planning the central room's layout. gathered extra wood too, since I plan to use cherry wood for the interior details. I enchanted the shovel to speed up floor work, then laid down quartz and cherry planks. For the walls I went with cherry wood again. There is enough space in here that I can even fit an aquarium. This place is gonna be awesome. I added burst ceiling in the outer rooms and found the perfect spot for the enchanting table. I even used lampside snack from the basements earlier. It looks just fantastic with the hatches and wool making for a classy hidden design. It's already day 100, our castle's still not finished yet and we have a lot of things to do. Plus, I finally organized our resources into storage zones. Valuable materials here and other blocks will be in this area. With the base now livable and organized, I loaded up with buckets and set out again, this time determined to find that woodland mansion and maybe something for the aquarium. Along the way, I came across a warm ocean biome with coral. Tried grabbing some for the aquarium, but Silk Touch on my shovel didn't want to cooperate, so I had to settle for sea cucumbers and small corals. My inventory filled up fast, especially with 9 fish on board, so I marked the coordinates for the future and checked out some nearby caves. After a while, I finally reached the mansion, but before taking on, I hunted down some food since, as usually, I was out. Stocked up on meat and emptied out my inventory. I'm ready to raid this retirement home. Looks like we've got a little farm here. Pumpkins, melons, not bad. And we need to take down these pillagers before they can mess us up later. Oh, a chest! Diamond hole! Nice. Wait, look who I found. There are these little fairies trapped in all these cages. Let's free them all.
You're my friend now.
I don't know how many there are, but we are taking every single one of them. They are so adorable. It would be amazing to bring them back home. There he is, the Walker. Quickly, take him down. Yes, got him. Now run. Just don't die whatever happens. Got the second one too. Nice. As for those eggs, guys, they're not much of a threat now. Alright, up to the 3rd floor. Looting is going pretty well so far. Found another chest. Music disc and lead. Not sure if we'll actually need this, but I'll grab them anyway. I think I've looted almost everything here. Oh, there goes the totem. After looting everything, I decided to explore the mansion a bit more to see if there are any hidden treasures or at least something left. Skeletons, they don't let me... Just look at this, they won't even let me get close to them. I also need to figure out how to collect all the resources we left behind earlier. I came up with the idea to load up all the little fairies, and let me tell you, they can carry buckets like pros. Since we had about 8 blue ones, they'll do just fine. The map is now fully explored, so it's time to head back home. After quite a long journey, I stumbled upon a ruined portal, repair it and planning to continue my travels through there. However, moving fairies through the portal turned out to be quite a challenge. Right, I forgot I broke the portal earlier. Guess I'll have to haul these Pokemons back to the surface manually. Eventually, I moved the portal outdoors. By the looks of it, only 3 of the fairies survived the entire trip. But that should be enough for now. Next on my agenda is setting up our aquarium. We're going for a panoramic view and soon enough we'll release the krakens into it. Adding some kelp, sea pickles and coral blocks to liven it up. Oh wow, a book with Unbreaking 3. It will come in handy. Right, I wanted to upgrade my pickaxe with Silk Touch and collect some extra aquatic life for aquarium. So we go to the nether, then back again, which leads me to some caves. Digging out, I find myself in a coral ocean, where I start gathering everything I can. Whoa, have you ever seen a shipwreck embedded right into a cliff before? That's insane! The aquarium expansion continues, adding water and finally placing the coral blocks. It looks absolutely stunning, though the fish don't seem to be thrilled about it, but who cares about them? So yeah, it turned out pretty great. By the way, did you know that in update 1.22 we're getting new paintings? This is probably the first time we've seen something like this in an update. And don't forget the pottery shards. We can craft vases with them which fit perfectly into our interior. As for the upper floors, there is still a lot of work to be done. I decide to focus on the central tower next, and let me tell you, it's not an easy task. So I start farming oak wood, afterward I finish the third floor including the balcony area, and then comes the main tower itself, which devours quartz like there is no tomorrow. Somehow I managed to finish the observation platform, but now I'm completely out of quartz. And the build is still unfinished. Oh, and as always, I'm out of food. Typical problems. To top it off, the cow farm isn't working properly either. Still, I've got plenty of emeralds in reserves, so I decide to visit a random nearby village to trade for something useful. And farmer will help us with it. First bread, then pies, apples, cakes, and golden carrots. It's insane, and it's not even finished yet. Absolute beauty. Here we'll add a staircase and lay down some carpets to make sure the brush doesn't hurt our eyes. Lighting, ceiling, not bad, right? For now there is not much to show here, but we need to build an elevator in the central tower that reaches all the way to the top, placing fences with water flowing from the very top. Then we plant kelp, growing it to the highest point, and as it turns out a regular soul sand block doesn't work, so I had to use the other one that slows things down, and with that it works perfectly awesome. Around this time, I made yet another trip to the nether to gather quartz. Thankfully, we didn't need much, so I didn't linger there. While the quartz was melting, I enjoyed the breathtaking sunrise and finally finished the castle. Finally, our base is finished, and honestly, it's the largest build I've ever completed in my life. What's even crazier is that I built it all based on the blurry photo, and I think it turned out pretty close. To celebrate, I dyed my bed pink to match the decor in my room. I grabbed an Unbreaking 3 book, repaired my anvil and crafted the missing armor pieces. Now it's time to take on the Ender Dragon. But first we need to head back to the nether to farm blaze rods. I'm not about to lose my totem? Whoa! Oh no. Finally we have Ender Eyes, which means it's time to locate the stronghold. After a while, the eye started pointing backwards. I began searching the case for the structure, and within about 5 minutes I found it. All that's left is to locate the portal, which luckily was quite close. Here we are. By the way, I brought these extra resources for a reason. We'll need sugarcane and gunpowder. We'll need sugarcane and gunpowder to craft fireworks, and the anvil and unbreaking book will make sure our elytra lasts longer. Alright, 1, 2, 3, let's go! Whoa, look at sunlight blazing through the end. The vibe here is something else. And what about the dragon? Same old, same old. Time to give it a boom boom. So I won't grab the Dragon Ball just yet. Instead, I'm heading straight to the outer islands. And now the challenge is finding an end city. For now, I don't see anything nearby, and it feels like it might take a while. Eventually, after what I felt like forever, I stumbled upon an end city and started wrecking those shulkers. Soon I reached my first chest, where I found a chestplate with efficiency 5 pickaxe, and after bashing a few more square-headed, I made my way to the end ship. I finally got my elytra along with some other loot, though the only really useful item was a saddle. I also decided to collect some end rods and farm some shulkers. In the other chest, I found yet another chest plate and enchanted my elytra with unbreaking. I had planned to craft fireworks, but of course I forgot to bring a crafting table. That also meant no shulker boxes for now. Looking around, I couldn't spot any other cities nearby, so I decided to fly in a random direction, hoping to find something along the way.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Eye to eye, so I lie. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
After wandering for ages, I finally returned to the overworld. Since I'd stashed some resources in my ender chest, the next task was sorting everything out. I crafted shulker boxes, made some fireworks, and used the end rods to decorate my base's interior. Next, it was time to some enchanting. I had 78 levels saved up. I enchanted an axe with efficiency and bow with flame, and spent the rest of my XP trying to get looting 3 on the sword. Sadly, after using all my levels, I still didn't get the enchantment. It really made me appreciate the sword I had before, which unfortunately broke because I wasn't paying attention to its durability. With little XP I had left, I enchanted the essentials: a bow, another sword, this time without looting, and some leggings. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough levels left for boots. Meanwhile, our base still isn't finished. As promised, we need to build a bridge to the other side. It's a big project, so there is a lot of work ahead. I enchanted a silk touch pickaxe with efficiency and went to mine more stone and diorites since my previous supplies were nearly depleted. Thankfully, such veins are massive, so gathering resources was no problem. I started outlining the bridge, marking where the pillars would go, and then I began constructing the base of the pillars using deep slate. For the supports, I added a gradient from black to white using stone blocks. Honestly, while working the supports, I worried the bridge would look terrible because I rarely build something like this. I wasn't sure if it would match the vision in my head. To make things easier, I used bamboo to craft scaffolding, which helped me to work on the sides of the bridge. After that, I added lighting and wow, just look at how amazing it turned out. Wow, this bridge looks pretty, doesn't it? And this entire area we've settled in is just gorgeous. But I didn't stop there. While the base looks great, I wanted to enhance the surroundings and add some functionality to the area. First, I built the exit from the castle leading to the cliffside, since the previous way out wasn't convenient. I also created a pathway around the castle, adding a secret side entrance for easier access in the future, and lined up the path with lanterns for lighting. Next, I added more greenery and flowers. As for the nether portal, I decided to completely redesign it. First, I leveled up nearby hill. For the new design, I wanted it to reflect the nether itself, so I used blocks from different biomes. On one side we have the crimson biome, and on the other the warped biome. I even planted trees, red on one side, I tweaked it a bit, and green on the other side. To finish, I added various decorations, and I must say it turned out really well. Right now I want to build a small wheat farm nearby because I've always had issues with food. But you wouldn't believe how much of a hassle it is to build anything at night. There is no peace whatsoever. By the next day I managed to lay the foundation, till the soil and plant the seeds. I don't have much at the moment, but will expand the farm later. Also, having mortuary trees on our territory is never a bad idea, and I need to gather a few other things, so I decided to fly around the area and collect some flowers. It's just so amazing to be in a place like this, surrounded by mountains. It's so beautiful. And I'm here to get some spruce wood. We can also grow one of those giant spruce trees and then chop it down. I added more flowers around our base and also did some terraforming. It might not be that noticeable in replay mode, but I also added some more lighting, greenery, decorations made from spruce wood, and even finished planting our crops. Honestly, I feel like this base has exceeded all my expectations. I didn't even imagine how could I build something like this.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got
as I promised you all, I'd explore all the structures, and the last one on our list is the ancient city. First, I wanted to make sure I wouldn't run into food issues again, so I headed straight to the village and bought pumpkin pies and golden carrots from the farmer. They're the best for restoring hunger. Now it's time to head down into the mines. I'm not sure how hard it is to find ancient cities, but as far as I know they are pretty rare, so we'll have to figure something out. For now, I've decided to explore some caves I haven't been to yet. Aside from resources and scary mobs, I didn't encounter much. On my way back though, I found a vein of diamonds, and then another one right nearby. Whoa, no way, more diamonds! I've barely been in the mines and I've already got a ton of diamonds, and you know what? I've got an idea. We still have an upgrade template, so... Well, we only have one netherite ingot, but that's fine. We'll duplicate the upgrade. Now, what should we upgrade? Looking through my supplies, I found a pickaxe with efficiency 5, and honestly upgrading that sounds like a good idea, since we'll need to dig a lot while searching for the ancient city. Also, I realized we still have a bunch of different templates, so I decided to give my armor a makeover. I think a golden trim would look great with diamond gear. You know, the front looks more square, but the other sides and back, we've got this wavy pattern. Not bad, huh? Alright, time to head into the caves. I'm not sure how long this will take, but at least we can farm some XP from these blocks. Is this dungeon under my base? Yeah, I've been here before. I kept digging in a new direction further away from the dungeon itself to increase my chances of finding something new. By the way, I should warn you, I'm a total pro in looting ancient cities. So yeah, I was saying I have no idea how... Mama? Something scary is happening? Anyway, just about 30 minutes after that moment, I stumble upon this. Is it normal? I thought I'd spend hours searching for this, but it turns out it was so quick. Well, quick isn't the right word, I've been digging for 30 minutes, but still. Now we need to figure out how to loot this place. I'm not prepared at all. No shield, no wool. Although, would a shield even help against the warden? Alright, here our first chest. Let's try to loot it properly. It doesn't look like there are any shriekers or sensors around, so it should be safe to open. Oh, come on, nothing useful here. Over there I see the passage, and there should be plenty of wool to collect from there. I'd like to gather it quickly with shears, but of course I don't have any. Actually, I just got an idea. We've got some wood here. Let's carefully chop it down. Now let's craft a furnace and smelt the iron I picked up earlier. Iron acquired, shears crafted, and now we've got a faster way to harvest wool. Then I began exploring the area. Building over here, we've got a shrieker, just one. So let's block it off and break it. Man, this chest's cool with their purple and green accents, but they're mostly full of useless stuff. There are two shriekers in one spot. Let's carefully block them both. Break, and we're good. Oh, here's another chest. This one has an enchanted golden apple and some swift sneak books. Not bad at all. I've moved to a new section and we've got just one shrieker here. And let's see what's inside the chest. Oh, template, an enchanted hose. Those will definitely come in handy. Another chest here with more hose. This one has efficiency 5 and I'm breaking and mending. A great find. While I was there, I also grabbed a skeleton skull and some candles. This would make a great decoration for future builds. Alright, let's gather some wool since I'm running low. We'll need to keep looting safely. What do we have here? Leggings with protection and mending. Wow. I mean, my current leggings are better, but let's grab this anyway. And more swift sneak books. How many do I even need? I'm not a centipede. Wait, hold on. I didn't see that there. Nobody's spawning? Right? The chest didn't contain anything new. One of my shulker boxes was already packed up with resources, so I decided to move on and explore the central structure. So right now I'm in the center and it's pretty cool out here. Nobody's here yet, right? Oh no. Oh no, please run. Oh my god. What did I just do? Please, run, run. It's running towards me. This is bad. Oh no, I think he noticed me. Okay, I'm ready to eat the golden apple if anything. Oh no, please, please. Where's my elytra? Where's my elytra? Here, please. Just fly somewhere. I don't see anything. Oh my god, please, please, I don't want to die near the end. This time I was far enough from the warden that it couldn't reach me. but I was able to deal some solid hits. It was risky, but I decided to head back and see what the center of the dungeon held. Surprisingly, there wasn't a single shrieker at the top of the structure, which was odd. However, there was an open passageway underneath, so I decided to take a look inside. I don't feel safe at all. There are all sorts of mechanisms here. Oh, and guess what? The shrieker spawned inside of these rooms. I used to think these rooms were the safest, but apparently not. Let's break this one before something bad happens. Spawning a warden here in these rooms would be death sentence. Oh no? I shouldn't have said that. We need to get out of here. I think something or someone is watching me. Oh no, let's just leave. I have no idea where I'm flying, just keep going. Honestly, these wardens are exhausting. They just keep showing up everywhere. Oh no, what did I just activate this time? Break it! Alright, I think I'm safe here for now. I've got another spot with one shrieker and 2 chests. Let's disable the shrieker first and loot the chests. Carefully. No, run! Oh no, I think it's coming this way. I know what's about to happen. Time to dig my way out, now! I'm not dying in the toilet. By the end of it, I was genuinely terrified of staying there. Digging my way out took a while since we're deep in the mountains. Along the way, I came across some interesting lava flows, ton of coal and the iron. Honestly, I ended up with more coal than I'll probably need anytime soon. And you won't believe where I dug my way out. Directly into a tree. If I'd gone in the other direction, I would have spent so much time trying to climb out that mountain. Absolute madness. Once I got back home, I started sorting through all the resources I'd gathered, decorating some rooms, distributing coal among the furnaces. Fun fact, we already had that music disc, so we still need to find some more to complete the collection. Also, I didn't forget about enchanting my leggings with Swift Sneak. I got the XP from the furnaces and upgraded them. Just look at the speed, so smooth. I have plans to build a massive number of farms, so I need to decide where to start. But first, it wouldn't hurt to gather some resources, since after building our castle, I'm pretty much out of everything. What's up with the shulker box? Like a football. We're heading to the Nether. I think it would be a good idea to start with the warped forest, since I want all the builds to match the castle style, and warped wood will be our primary material for roofs. I gathered only 3 stacks, which should be enough for now, so we're heading back to the overworld. The first thing on my list was an animal pen. We'll need animals for meat and other resources, so I started clearing out the area and marking the layout. It will be a simple rectangular shape. While I was building, a wandering trader showed up, and the coolest thing was... Along the perimeter, every 3 blocks, I placed wooden supports. So far, it looks like this. To keep the animals safe, I'm adding a fence around it. It's already looking much better. 5 blocks up, I connected the supports with logs, dividing the pen into 2 sections. The roof took the longest to build, but I think it turned out really nice. We can even add some torches on top and place more lanterns around the area. And of course, lighting inside is important too, along with interior fencing to separate the animals. This is how it looks from the outside. On the left we'll keep the cows and on the right the sheep. If you remember, we had a cow farm inside the house. Now I need to figure out how to move these little guys out of my castle and relocate them to the farm. I think they'll have much more space here. And of course we'll start breeding them since we'll always need wool and food. I don't know about you, but I feel like the cherry trees don't really fit in here. So I decided to cut down some of them around the wheat farm. In the future, we might use a different type of wood, or even mix several kinds together. Next on my list is a villager town on a nearby hill, so I continued clearing trees in the area. I think we now have more than enough space, but I need to figure out how to build on a hill. There's a simple terraforming trick, creating a small cliff. It's an easy process, but it looks great from a distance, and most importantly gives us more flat space for future builds. As I mentioned earlier, I want everything to match the castle's aesthetic. For that, we need a lot of white blocks. The easiest to collect is diorite, so we'll be spending the next hour mining. Diorite generates in large amounts at Y level 0, and I already gathered a decent amount here before, so we'll just continue. I decided not to stay here too long and only mined about half a shulker of material. We also need some deep slate for the roofs. We don't have much right now, but it should be enough for the first builds. Oh, and I almost forgot. We also need wood. Not just any wood, but spruce. And there's only one place to get it. So here we are, my go-to spruce farm. Time to plant and start chopping. I chopped down 3 trees and got a decent amount of logs, so it's time to head back home. Now that we have all the necessary resources, we can start outlining the first villager house. The frame will be made of spruce logs with 3 block gaps between them. Now I can start filling in the walls with diorite, while the log frame will add depth to the build. So far it looks like this. Next we'll work on the roof. Before I start building, I'm outlining it with deep slate blocks and stairs, switching to just stairs near the top. To add more detail, I also planned out spots for windows on the sides. It's just like you make additional small roof in the middle, so that's not too complicated, but it makes the build look much more dynamic and cool. I repeated the same process on the other side, then filled the remaining gaps with diorite and glass. For the second floor flooring, I decided to use deep slate, and I think it turned out pretty nice. On the first floor, I'm using birch planks to highlight the bright interior, adding some lighting and doors. Done. I think it would be a great idea to set up a pathway, add some interior details, and improve the exterior so that the villagers have something to do here in the future. And of course, we can't forget about beds. Villagers need a place to do their bed things. Now, the biggest question, how do we transport villagers to our new town? The nearest village is hundreds of blocks away. That's when I remembered I had some obsidian stocked up, and transporting villagers through the nether seemed like the fastest and most convenient option. Everything would have gone smoothly except for one small issue. The portal was slightly lower than it needed to be, so I had to rebuild everything. And find a new villager for our hard labor. Don't even ask what happened to the previous one. The important thing is that our second friendo has arrived, and he already knows where he lives. We don't even have to teach him. As for the second one, we ran into a few issues. First, he randomly took up a fisherman's job from some barrel. Then he just went somewhere, probably looking for a fishing spot. I literally have no other explanation. But that's nothing. The first one went completely rogue and decided to sleep in my castle. I did consider building a fence, but that would have taken way too much time since the area isn't fully prepared yet. So I decided to work on that first and started leveling the hill for future builds. We finally cleared more space, and I think it's time for the second building in our village. This one is going to be a watchtower. I started by marking the foundation with birch planks, and immediately moved on to building a spiral staircase. It'll make things much easier later. The first part of the build will look like a regular house, while the second will transition into the actual tower. Man, it gets so dark at night. I can barely see where to place blocks. The next day, I began narrowing the base and continued building upward. I decided to go with 3 levels for the tower, and all that's left now is the roof. But before that, I had to finish the unfinished sections, add windows, and set up a second floor space. And, of course, lighting. I don't want to be wandering around in the dark. I think the hardest part of this build is the roof itself. I don't have any special tips for it. You just outline the general shape and adjust it as needed for extra depth. But in the end, it should look something like this. With 2 buildings completed, my resources were starting to run low. The first thing I needed was diorite, so it was time to head back into the mines. Is he hiding or something? You scared me. Alright, let's keep mining diorite. This time I'm getting enough, so I don't have to come back anytime soon. The only thing left is warped wood, so we're heading back to the nether for some more chopping. Alright, this should be enough. Oh, come on, how did you get here, dude? I have no idea what I'm gonna do with these villagers. They just lost their fear. The good news is that we now have more than enough resources, so we can continue expanding the village. The next house will have a unique shape, but we'll still use the same block palette. For the roof, I decided to step it up a notch and make the design more complex. From a distance, it looks like 2 regular houses merging together. The final step was filling in the gaps with warped wood. The second floor has a birch plank floor, while the first one uses warped planks for some contrast. Don't forget the windows, lighting, and most importantly decorations that add depth to the build. I think it turned out pretty nice, just need to add a door. For a complete village, we need at least 1 more house, but first we have to flatten the land for it. This time I went with a slightly different shape, and most importantly I decided to use only diorite bricks for the walls, while mixing the trim with warped wood. The floor, on the other hand, is made of spruce planks. As for the roof, I went all in and made a crazy interwoven design. Honestly, I should have planned it out first instead of figuring it out as I built. Inside I added flooring, windows, and even a 3rd floor. And of course, plenty of beds so the villagers can multiply comfortably in different positions. Honestly, I don't really like how this shack turned out, but there is no way I'm rebuilding it, so don't even dream about it. Right now, I need to figure out the fencing so our slaves, villagers don't wander out of their comfort zone. Oh yeah, they'll be very comfortable here. I think something like this should be enough. We also had some slime in storage, which means we can craft sticky pistons and make a sort of automated gate. It didn't take too long to build, but it worked absolutely perfectly. Now our little workers won't be able to escape so easily in the future. One of my bigger plans was to landscape the cliffs surrounding our area, but I completely ran out of stone. Luckily, I have a silk touch pickaxe, so that means it's time to go back into the mines and farm more of these damn resources that keep running out. I did a lot of digging, got very little, but it should be enough for now. The goal is to completely enclose the village with cliffs, so the villagers have no possible way to escape. At the same time, I leveled the nearby hills since I'll be using the entire area for various farms. And of course, we can't forget to light up the surroundings. Now it's time to start organizing the area for our future villagers. I've gathered this shulker box here and it has everything I need for the pathways. I'm also adding some spruce trees to the area and a small well. It actually looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. We'll also add some gardens and extend the fencing along the cliffs, just in case any of our employees start getting funny ideas. Oh, and we're replacing all the torches with lanterns. This is non-negotiable. Now it's definitely ready. I think it's time to deal with transporting the troublemakers into their new home. To make this easier, we're setting up another portal inside our village. Not that the villagers care where they live, whether it's in the nether or die together, they don't seem to mind. But now it's time to bring them back where they belong. Not sure where the second one disappeared to, but honestly I don't think it matters. There's always more workers in the village. Alright, all done. Now we take down the portal. Oh yeah, I also had this wheat field, and I think now's the perfect time to harvest it. The villagers need wheat to repopulate, which is pretty important for the growth of our town. Look at him twitching in bed. He's pretending to sleep, but in reality he's just picking up all the loot I'm throwing at him. He's way too comfortable. His head is literally halfway into the wall. And finally, we can say that the town is fully functional. The villagers now have everything they need to multiply.
I don't know what's right or wrong, live or fade, where do I belong? I don't know what's right or wrong, laugh it off or light up strong.
Next up, I'm planning to build several crop farms. We'll be using wheat, carrots and potatoes. I've already gathered all the necessary seeds, and I still have plenty of diorite, which we'll use for the fencing. We'll raise the fence a little higher, add some lighting, and now all that's left is to prepare the soil and start planting. I moved this water source here, so now we'll place water blocks gradually. Next, we'll put slabs over every water source and of course add more lighting. From a distance, it looks amazing. And the last step, tilling the soil for planting. Yeah, considering my bone meal supply, we won't be able to plant everything right away, but at least half of it should be enough for now. Once it grows, we'll expand further. Hey, where the hell did you come from? Get back in the pan! I think adding even more fences would be a good idea. Somehow they keep escaping. After that, I extended the pathways across my territory and swapped out the cherry lanterns for spruce ones. Looks better this way, or did the cherry wood actually look nicer? Another great idea would be to plant bamboo around the farms. It should look awesome once it grows. Then I built even more pathways, this time connecting the new farms, and honestly it looks really cozy. So I just popped into the village for the quick visit, and for some reason I don't see the second villager here. How are they still escaping? I literally blocked off every exit. Alright, relighting the portal, kidnapping another villager and transporting him through the nether. Back to base he goes. Oh, now this I like. Progress is finally happening in the village. Just like in real life, you barely get your zipper down and suddenly there are kids running all over the house. Doesn't even matter if they're yours or not. Next on our list, the beacon. Of course, I don't actually have a beacon yet, but I plan to start by building the tower for it and then deal with the beacon itself later. I want to place it on the opposite side of the bridge that leads from our castle, but since there's a mountain in the way, we'll need to carve out a staircase. Alright, so far it looks like this. Now it'd be a good idea to work on terraforming the hill and leveling the area since I'm planning to build a plaza around the beacon. My chests are already filling up with dirt and my shovel is on the verge of breaking, so I decided to combine it with an old one to extend its life a bit. As for the dirt, the first chest is completely full, so I started filling up a second one and continued violating the terrain around the mountain. I think this should be enough space for my future plans, so I started marking out the layout for the plaza around the beacon. Right now it looks like this. Now I just need to turn this cross into a circle, which wasn't too hard, though I did have to level the hill even more to fit everything. And then I spammed torches everywhere. Gotta light up the entire area, there are way too many mobs spawning around here. By the end of the day, the platform was fully set up and I could finally start thinking about the actual structure. This is how it looks from a distance. Now I need to figure out the design. First, I cleaned up the corners a bit to make it look more polished, and then I ran out of diorite. I could just mine more, but instead I decided to stick with the same block palette as my castle, which means back to the nether.
Wait.
What the hell is going on here? How are they getting into the portal? I literally fenced off their entire village. Alright, I'll deal with these castrates later. The main thing right now is to mine as much quartz as possible. No, but seriously, this is a nightmare. How do people live with these guys? These villagers must have completely lost their bananas. So yeah, I fenced off the portal and deported all the Chupapimuñaños back where they belong. Hopefully they remember how to get back to their village. Unbelievable, just look at this guy. He doesn't even react to the bot. Now he's sneaking into my castle. This is driving me insane. To make sure no one escapes ever again, I sealed off even the most hard-to-reach exits. Now they definitely have no chance of getting out. Meanwhile, the carrot farm has fully grown, so I finally replanted it completely. And of course we can't forget about potatoes. I even have a decent amount of crops left in storage, so food shortages are officially over. Now back to the beacon tower. Time to start with the foundation. This will be an entrance area leading up to the tower. And around this spot I decided to add some greenery to make it look nicer. Alright guys, something's definitely taking shape here. Now it's time to start building. I marked out the outline and began building up. Around 7 blocks high, I added a slight taper using warped wood. I had planned for the tower to be pretty tall, but after just a few minutes I realized that the quartz I mined was nowhere near enough, even though the tower wasn't even halfway done. I didn't really have a choice, so I went back to the nether, but then I immediately realized I was completely out of fireworks. No mob farm of course, but I had a better plan. I was going to get a looting book, use it to farm gunpowder, and then grind wither skeleton skulls for the beacon. Wait, what? What is this? Turns out we got some spies riding zombies in the village. I think I'm gonna light up everything as much as possible. I had no idea these kinds of ambushes were happening here. After a ton of failed attempts and some surprisingly good trades, I finally managed to get looting too. Bought 2 of them, combined on the anvil and slapped it on my sword. Alright, now all that's left is to wait for the nightfall. Oh, it's already getting dark. Time to start farming creepers. If all goes well, I should have a solid amount of gunpowder by morning. I managed to get 44 gunpowder, which should last us for quite a while. Bro, where did you come from? These villagers have completely lost their minds. Somehow they keep sneaking into my castle and acting like they own this place. I'll add even more job site blocks. Maybe they just haven't noticed there are actual jobs available here. Alright, time to craft fireworks and head back to the nether for even more quartz. God, I'm so done with this. So, I spent about an hour mining, maybe more, but I ended up with a solid amount of blocks. Now we smelt them and then can continue working on the tower. Looking pretty epic so far. Now all that's left is the roof. Not the easiest task. I have to carefully place blocks so everything looks balanced and fits the build style. And you know what, guys? I think it turned out amazing. Now it's time to work on the interior, specifically the beacon itself. I dug through my supplies and found only 1 fire resistance potion, but I decided to go to the nether fortress anyway. Turns out skeletons weren't spawning there at all, so I had to find a new one. Same issue, no skeletons? Weird? But I wasn't giving up just yet. I kept flying and eventually found a 3rd one. This one was crawling with skeletons. Time to start farming. Alright, we're done, heading back home. And we're greeted with some wonderful weather. I grabbed some regeneration potions and headed into the mines, where I plan to fight the wither. Wow, this cave actually looks kinda nice. Dug out a tunnel, set up a room, and spawned the wither. As far as I know, this method makes killing him stupidly easy. Nether star. That's all that matters. Crafting a beacon. We actually have a ton of gold and a decent amount of iron. I crafted everything into blocks, hoping it'd be enough to build the beacon's base. Inside the tower, I dug out several layers of flooring and started placing all the valuable blocks. Turns out I had more than enough resources. Now all that's left is to punch a hole in the roof so the beam can shine through. I think black glass would look pretty good here. And now the moment of truth. Absolutely perfect. Wait, why didn't I get the achievement? Maybe if I place it again? What? Still no achievement? That's kinda sus. Whatever, let's just select the level 2 strength buff. Now I just need to add glass for the remaining gaps, and it's done. I think I'll hold off on decorating the interior for now, not sure what I want to put inside yet. But dang, this thing looks insane from a distance, just beautiful. Now we need to move our dirt storage because these chests are completely ruining the aesthetic here. I relocated them, added some lanterns around the perimeter and continued leveling the terrain. At this point I expected to have a whole population of villagers, but considering they keep running away from me I had to bribe them a little. Hopefully that kickstarts something in their tiny little society. Also, my shovel is basically dead, so I really need to repair it. Tools in this game break way too fast. I think now would be a good time to start working on the area's aesthetics. First thing, I'm replacing all the torches with lanterns. Also adding some foliage here and there and planting a bunch of spruce trees. Already looks way better. Next on my list, a trading hall. Hopefully by the time it's finished, we'll actually have enough villagers to use it. I'll build it on a hill near the village and it's going to have a Colosseum-like design. So time to clear the area again and start with the stone floor. As usual, the walls will be made of diorite. Now it's time to work on the interior, so I started outlining spots for the villagers. For decoration, I used fences, but I didn't bother too much with the roof. I just covered part of it for now. Even so, it's already looking pretty decent. I also think it'd be a good idea to light up the whole area since this is supposed to be a trading zone. And the last thing we need is mobs ruining our business. Wait, where the hell is zombies coming from? This is my village. I literally lit up everything. Does feel like some areas are a bit too dark. Maybe I actually missed a few spots. I'll add more torches on the roofs and around the territory. Hopefully that helps. I also decided to put pads around our new buildings. And of course, don't forget the lanterns. The best lighting. I even had to make a separate chest just to dump all these cherry blossoms. What? How are they still getting infected? Where are these zombies coming from? Well, good thing I have a weakness potion. Let's heal this poor guy before our village turns into a ghost town. And you, my friend, are gonna chill in the well so you don't cause any more problems. I swear I lit up everything up. Maybe I should throw some more lanterns inside the houses, just to be sure. Oh, look at that, our boy is healed. We even got an achievement. And now he sells looting for just a single emerald. Not bad, right? Wait, hold up. Who the hell are you? What are you doing here, you little rat? No wonder we had so many zombies. This idiot was hiding inside the house this whole time. Mystery solved, I guess. Alright, I think it's finally time to start working on our trading zone. To keep it consistent with the base's style, I decided to go with a warped wood roof. It turned out pretty nice, and more importantly, it blends in perfectly with the rest of the area. The interior is also looking pretty cozy. The village is thriving, but I don't think I have enough villagers yet to start moving them to the trading hall. Next in my plans is a sugarcane farm. I think that spot over there would be perfect for that. The next morning, I started clearing trees and laying out the foundation. I even started planning some interior details before making space for the redstone mechanisms. We're placing rails where the sugarcane will grow in the future. All the harvested resources will go into this chest, and a minecart with a hopper will collect everything. And of course, as always, the walls are diorite. pistons go here, and above them observers. These will detect when sugarcane grows and trigger the pistons to harvest it. Now we just need a roof. Since it's gonna be huge, I decided not to go too crazy with the details. With the walls almost done, things are really taking shape. I added some lighting, and now all that's left is to plant the sugarcane. Luckily, I still had some left from the village, so I gathered a bit and carefully planted it in the farm. I think it would be nice to add some decorative elements and place glass blocks so we can actually see the sugarcane growing. Yeah, this looks awesome, fits the base perfectly. Meanwhile, back in the village, we have way too many useless villagers now, so I think it's time to start relocating them to the trading hall. I crafted a ton of rails and built a railway all the way from the village. This is how we'll be stealing our new merchants. Since we always have villagers wandering around the farm, we'll start kidnapping them one by one and transporting them to their new workplace. Alright, here's our first recruit. He's gonna be a farmer. I think we'll move most of the villagers this way and start figuring out trading strategies. I wonder if they can switch professions, because this guy suddenly decided he wants to be a fisherman. Guess we'll have to move even more villagers over here. Alright, after about half an hour, I've got 7 workers. Time to start trading and slowly bring in more. I'll begin with librarians. Gotta get some enchanted books for my best gear. The first useful enchantment I found was Quick Charge 3. Pretty rare and definitely something that could come in handy later. After some time, I also found Unbreaking 3 for 33 emeralds. And later, I even got Mending for 14 emeralds. Exactly what I needed. I bought 2 books right away and enchanted my elytra with Mending. Later, I also added it to my boots, the only piece of armor that didn't have it yet. I decided to check on my sheep farm, and guess what? An enderman somehow placed a block inside and now my sheep are escaping. What are the odds of that happening? As for the trading hall, these prices are completely unacceptable. So I've got a plan. I'm setting up a price crasher mechanism nearby. First, I carved out a small passage leading to a hidden room, which of course needs to look good. Stone brick floor, oak wood walls, and for the ceiling something simple. I even used the lamp from the trial chambers here, and honestly it fits perfectly. Here's the plan. We'll have 3 zombies stationed here, and I'll run a rail line so we can infect and cure villagers on a loop, grinding those prices down to the absolute minimum. It's nighttime now, so we need to find 3 zombies that can pick up blocks. That way they won't despawn. But then a thunderstorm rolled in. It got way too dark. In unlit areas I couldn't see a thing, so I decided to wait it out. Damn, just look at that sky. The next night the weather was calm, so I got back to work. The zombies were in a good mood and started picking up blocks like well-trained pets. Just 2 more to go. Alright, come on buddy. Full already, full! And you too, let's go, let's go! That was the last one. And here they are, our new employees, all happy and very dangerous. Now we just need to build the mechanism that lets us control their aggression. It's simple, we'll use glass panes to block their view when we don't want them to attack. Perfect. Next up, the rail system. With this setup, we can infect and cure 4 villagers at a time. And thanks to these levers, we can cycle new test subjects, villagers, in and out without any trouble. The only issue now is potions. I only have 1 weakness potion left, which is definitely not enough. I figured the easiest solution was to check the trial basement under my base. If you remember, we have trial chamber right under our house. Turns out no weakness potions down there, but plenty of other nasty surprises. Well, time for the old-fashioned method, brewing it myself. Wait, why is there a villager in my meat processing facility? What the hell is going on? You guys saw nothing, okay? I've got 3 brewing stands, so let's get to work. First ingredient, fermented spider eye, and to make it throwable we add gunpowder. Weakness potions ready. This is the first time I've ever brewed potions, despite playing survival for ages. Didn't even realize. No, don't jump! Think about your family, your children. You're gonna work in my trading hall. It's fine, just a cozy little 1x1 room. Nobody's complaining so far. Huh, where did all my gold go? Luckily, I already had plenty of apples in storage, so I turned 16 of them into golden apples. That should be more than enough for now. Alright, let's start transporting our new employees. Second, third, and the fourth is our mending librarian. Now, we release the green-headed ones, and wait. 1 minute later, all villagers successfully zombified. Now we just splash them with weakness potions and feed them golden apples. Meanwhile, the village is growing at an insane rate. So many new villagers popping up everywhere. Everyone's asleep except for this guy just staring out a window. It's kinda creepy. My sheep farm isn't just for show. I need to expand the village fast. More beds, more villagers. Let's go. Let's go! Meanwhile, our patients have recovered, and the best part, their prices are now ridiculously low. But I wanted to buy bookshelves, so I figured I could push the discounts even further. Time for round 2! Come on, keep it moving. Second round of curing is done. Now we send them back to work. The new arrivals will be cartographers, because we can make bank selling paper to them. We got mending for 1 emerald, but bookshelves are still at 3. Turns out in the latest updates they removed the ability to lower prices multiple times, so we'll have to find a workaround. Still, the cartographers are perfect. They buy paper and my sugarcane farm is already producing small batches. I started cashing in emeralds and unlocked the second trade level. 5 glass panes for 1 emerald. Everything was going great. Except I ran out of sand, so time to grab a shulker and go on a desert adventure. Finally found a desert! I'll stock up while I'm here. This place isn't exactly close, and I always run out of sand and glass for different projects. Plus, I need it for trading now, so better make sure I've got plenty for the future. Alright, 1 full shulker of sand. No idea how long this will last, but I'm definitely not coming back anytime soon. Okay, let's go back home. I tossed all the sand into the furnaces right away and left the shulker nearby for future glass needs. Now time to craft more glass panes and farm emeralds in peace. I think it's time to expand the trading hall. Here's how it's looking so far. I decided Fletchers should be next, since their trades are pretty profitable too. So the day was spent breaking and placing job blocks, and in the end we had 4 Fletchers sitting in their spots. First half of the trading hall complete. I'm still not sure what other villagers I'll need, so I'll leave the rest open for now. But even as is, this trading hall is already printing emeralds. The base is starting to look really good from a distance, but it needs something. More trees. My original plan was to fill the area with spruce trees, but I don't have nearly enough saplings for that, meaning I need to get more. At first I thought the easiest way would be to grow a giant spruce tree, chop it down and collect saplings. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. Oh my god, that took an entire day. My axe is half broken and I barely got any saplings. But just look at all this wood. The method was terrible, completely inefficient. So time for plan B, finding a taiga biome. Finally, we are here. I always carry a hoe with me. It doesn't have fortune, but even without it I should get plenty of saplings. Just look at this wasteland. I tried to get every last bit of value from these trees. My hoe is basically broken, but I still ended up with a ton of saplings. Adding the ones I already had, this should be enough. Time to head home. Alright, plenty of saplings, not much bone meal, we'll figure something out. I also decided to expand the lighting around the base, safer that way. And so the next few days were spent planting trees, leveling terrain, and making everything look way better. The base was really coming together, but it still felt like something was missing. Then I remembered. I had a few stacks of cherry saplings in storage. So I mixed cherry trees with spruce and it turned out amazing. Meanwhile, I kept adding more lighting and clearing out nearby caves for safety. Just look at this place from a distance, it's beautiful. A couple of days later, all the trees grew in and now it looks so cozy and cool.
Ich weiß nicht, was tun, soll ich leben, soll ich gehen? Ich weiß nicht, was tun, soll ich lachen oder stehen? Pack mich ganz fest, reiß mich entzwei. Ich weiß nicht, was tun, soll ich leben, soll ich gehen? Ich weiß nicht, was tun, soll ich lachen oder stehen? Pack mich ganz fest, reiß mich entzwei.
Yeah, I think we'll be working on this village for a long time. This whole time while I was surviving in this world, one problem kept bothering me. I was always running low on gunpowder for fireworks, so I decided it was finally time to build a mob farm, right behind the village. The area was completely overgrown with trees, so step 1 was obvious: clear the land. I wanted to be thorough and free up as much space as possible for the build. As the main material, I chose diorite. We already had a good amount of it, though I wasn't sure if it would be enough, so naturally I headed down into the mines. Whoa, that fall nearly killed me. Once I reached my old tunnels, I found an untouched diorite vein and started digging. Now that I'm back, we've got plenty of build material. That should definitely be enough. The trees are mostly cleared out. Now I just need to flatten the land and start sketching the outline for the farm. Here's what we've got so far. This is the main platform where mobs will spawn, fall and get flushed into the center. Next step was to cover the platform with slabs. Way more resource efficient than using full diorite blocks. Looks like it's coming together. The center point is where all the mobs will funnel in. Man, it gets so dark around here during the thunderstorm. Our base looks like the only bright island in the sea of shadows. Now we need a proper fence around the edge. A bit taller at the corners since the water will flow there. The whole system is designed so mobs get pushed to the middle where we'll eventually farm them. From the outside it already looks pretty cool, but there is still a lot left to do. I crafted more slabs and now I'm mixing in warped wood with diorite for the spawning platforms. Gives it a better look. First, I installed a timer mechanism using boas and pressure plates. This will trigger the main water system. The first platform goes around the mechanism with a dispenser in the center to release water. We'll need a lot of dispensers and observers to pass the signal up through the layers. Then I continued building platform after platform, alternating diorite and warped wood. Alright, I've finished 8 platforms. That should be more than enough. Now all that's left is to build a roof to block sunlight, so mobs can spawn both day and night. That said, mobs weren't falling exactly where I wanted, so I fixed it first. For now, it's just a temporary kill chamber, basically a big box. To finish the farm, I needed more iron, so it was back to the mines. There were still plenty of resources in the caves where I found the diorite, so I got to work. I came back with a solid iron hole, tossing it into furnace, and now time to finish things up. Wait dude, how'd you get here? Once the iron was ready, I crafted a few buckets, filled them with water and loaded up the dispensers on each platform. Now the system was finally fully functional. Just look at all those mobs spawning up there. The last step was placing magma blocks at the bottom so the farm works automatically. Underneath, I laid down rails for the loot collection. A hopper minecart will run back and forth, collecting drops into 2 chests. And just like that, the whole system is up and running. I figured I could even decorate the place a bit more. Polished diorite would fit perfectly here, and it looks amazing. It was finally time to replace warped wood with the glass blocks. It gives the whole farm a clean look, and now we can always see what mobs are dying inside. Looks awesome, and the loot is starting to pile up too. With our sugarcane farm up and running, we've got ourselves a limitless supply of fireworks. Every day our base just keeps getting better. Right now, I want to expand my crops a bit. The only thing I'm missing is melons and pumpkins, so it's time to go hunting for new resources. Oh, pumpkins! Gonna take all of them right away. All I need now is melons, which usually spawn in acacia villages. Time to fly out and search. Yep, looks like this is a place. I arrived at the village, grabbed all the melons I could find. There wasn't much else of interest, so I headed back home. Right away, I picked a nice spot for the melon and pumpkin farm, but first I had to clear the land. It was a dense forest. As usual, to match the town's aesthetic, I planned to build using diorite and then combining it with the warped wood for contrast. First thing, set up a harvesting system. I used rails for this. Initially, I wanted 2 separate minecarts collecting loot into 2 different chests, one for pumpkins and the other for melons. But that would have needed way too many powered rails, so I ended up going with a single rail line running through both halves of the farm. I launched the minecart, and now all that's left is to cover the rails with dirt. For now, it's looking like this. The collection chest is right by the entrance where everything gets funneled through hoppers. I also flooded both sides of the farm for hydration and placed slabs on the top so we can walk without disrupting the water. Man, the sky looks incredible. So bright and peaceful during the day. I could watch these clouds forever. But time to get back to work. Near the entrance I placed trapdoors as a wall to prevent the crops from flying out. Now comes the tricky part. Tilling the soil in a checkerboard pattern, and planting melon seeds on one side and pumpkins on the other one. I found some glow shrooms in the storage, perfect for lighting. They give a nice vibe. Above each crop I installed observers and placed pistons underneath. They have to face downward toward the plants. Now just add redstone on top of each observer and the build is ready to go. It's so dark tonight, I can barely see anything. Whoa, goodbye. Seriously, just look at how dark it is. And our base glowing in the distance, it looks incredible. At sunrise, I decided to add a little path to the new farm. Some lighting here and there and it instantly looked better. I did the same around the mob farm, built a cozy little path, added leaves to the support beams for decoration. Turned out amazing. Also noticed some hopper bugs in the mob farm. Quick fix and now loot should funnel correctly into the chest. I crafted a big batch of fireworks and went off scouting for a good spot for a large crop field. This flat area near the mountain looked promising, so I started clearing trees and flattering the land. Already looks way better. I even started outlining a future path, since I'll need to decide where to place a windmill, which will be the main structure of the farm. Man, this place is stunning. Just look at the view. Absolutely beautiful. I still had tons of spruce and diorite in storage, perfect for the build. I began outlining the base of the windmill using spruce for the structure and stone bricks for the trim. One side would be a mill itself and the other a barn-like extension. For the walls, I used diorite. Now it's starting to come together. Next up, the roof. After a certain height, the tower diameter starts to taper. Should look awesome once it's done. Yeah, the roof turned out a little crooked. So I had to tear down part of the barn wall and rebuild it one block over. Now it's looking a lot better. The sun rays is breathtaking. I could honestly stare at it forever. Back to building, still a lot to finish. At first, I wasn't sure how tall the windmill should be, but I just kept building upwards as long as I had blocks. This is where the blades will go. Looks pretty good already, but the roof still needs finishing. That's where the roof wraps up, and with that the main structure is complete. Now the barn roof, which I built out of the spruce planks. Not bad at all. Starting with the floor, which I made from a mix of the stone types. Looks decent so far. I headed over to the sheep farm, which has been doing great. Wool's the main material for the blades, but let me tell you, building this in survival mode is no joke. This is the hardest thing ever. Here's the first blade. Looks solid, let's keep going. Second one done. Third in place, just one more left, but I ran out of wool. After grabbing more from the sheep, I finally finished the windmill. Now it was time to add windows, finish the interior, place barrels, and build a ladder to the upper floors. First priority, place water sources for easy farming. Now the main task, planting the entire field. But of course our hoe is barely hanging on. And now it's getting dark again, might as well farm mobs while we can. Or maybe not, this place gets terrifying at night. And this right here, this is hilarious. All the villagers in the village somehow got themselves stuck in the well. Literally every single one. Have you ever seen anything like this? It's completely insane. Anyway, by the middle of the night the clouds had cleared a bit. The moonlight started reflecting more, giving us a bit more visibility. Just enough time to go repair the hoe. Yeah, the rain kicked in and ruined everything. It's pitch black out here, can't see a thing. My first goal was to plant as much wheat as possible on our new field. I didn't have that many seeds left, but thankfully we already built a small wheat farm next to the castle earlier. That should give us a good supply of seeds. After harvesting everything, I replanted immediately so I wouldn't forget. And just to give you an idea, I got 5 full stacks of wheat and a full inventory of seeds. That might not be enough for the entire field, but we should be able to cover at least half of it. Step 1 was clearing all the grass and plants. Those would just get in the way, already looking a lot cleaner. Now it's time to start tilling and planting the seeds. It's gonna take a while and I'll probably need to go fix a hoe again. It's also a good chance to upgrade the lighting around here and place a bunch of lanterns. Since it was still night, I used the time to go to mob hunting. My hoe's durability was running low anyway. That night helped a lot. I restored a decent chunk of the hoe's durability. Then I got back to placing light sources, tilling the land and planting seeds. The field expanded a lot, but once again the hoe was on the verge of breaking. Luckily, nighttime means more mobs to fight and more XP to earn. I'm running low on wheat seeds again, and the older farm hasn't grown anything yet. But I remembered, we also have carrots, and that's a pretty valuable crop too. I replanted everything in the carrot patch and kept expanding the fields near the windmill. It's already starting to look amazing. Might be a good idea to build a path here later. And there we go, everything is ready. The vibe is just perfect. But there is one major issue we've had for a while, XP. For how long I've survived in this world, I still haven't built an XP farm. Time to finally fix that. I crafted a bunch of ice of ender and set out to find the stronghold. That's where we'll build our XP farm. When the ice started flying backward, I dug straight down and eventually reached the portal room. I built another portal nearby, and the best part is the portal home is super close. That's gonna make things so much easier. I checked my storage and spruce was the wood I had most of. So that's what we're using for the build. Gather some more materials and off to the end we go. I crafted spruce logs into slabs to save as many resources as possible, then started bridging far away from the main island to prevent endermen from ruining the spawn rate. At the end of the bridge I built a small chamber for the XP farm. Looks solid so far. Next up, we need to flood the roof with water. That way when the endermen fall, they'll take damage and more importantly, they won't teleport away. Once the roof was fully covered in water, it was time to build a drop chute. It needs to be exactly 33.5 blocks high, so the endermen are left with just half a heart when they hit the bottom. That way we can one-shot them with our bare hands. At the top, I started branching our platform where the enderman will spawn. And yeah, it's working, there are endermen everywhere. It looks something like this. I placed trapdoors over the central holes so they wouldn't be scared to fall in. Now comes the most important part, the endermite that lures them in. I set up a little chamber with the minecart and started tossing ender pearls until the endermite finally spawned. While I was breaking down the temporary blocks to activate the trap, I realized I placed the endermite too low. And even worse, we didn't name him with a name tag, so he was going to despawn anyway. Also, I still haven't picked up the dragon egg. I really need to fix that. This stupid enderman! I gathered some supplies and grabbed an enchanting table and some anvils. We'll set up an enchanting station right next to the XP farm. And with that, we're heading back to the end. Inside the XP farm room, I set up an enchanting table, dropped down a couple anvils and added a grindstone. Now all that's left is to summon a new endermite. But after about 20 tries, nothing happened. And to make matters worse, I completely ran out of food, so I went back home, grabbed another batch of bread and returned to the end.
What?
Back at the enderman farm, I resumed throwing pearls. Eventually, I managed to get the endermite to spawn. I renamed him, dropped him into the minecart, and everything started working perfectly. Sure, it's not the most efficient farm out there, but even so we're getting a solid flow of XP and can repair our tools easily. I've been surviving here for a long time now and still don't have netherite armor. Time to fix that. I headed back to the trading area, stocked up on mending books and decided it was finally time to level up my farmer too. I still haven't had decent food this whole time. Oh, and I also upgraded my axe with mending. It was on its last legs anyway. As for the netherite, we barely had any left, so I headed back to the nether to find a good spot for mining. I dug my way down close to bedrock and started branching out in every direction to increase my odds of finding ancient debris. But after digging for a solid 10 minutes, I didn't find a single piece. That's when I remembered the Crimson Forest biome has always been the most profitable place for ancient debris. I found one and started digging right beside it. This time I struck ancient debris almost immediately and kept going. But on my way back, my pickaxe broke without me even noticing. It was the best tool I had. At least we managed to gather enough netherite. I returned home, sorted all the junk, packed the useful stuff into a shulker box and grabbed a couple spare mending books just in case. By that time the netherite had already smelted, and based on what we had I could craft a full 5 netherite ingots. Back in the end, I crafted a brand new pickaxe, enchanted it with a fortune, efficiency 4 and unbreaking. Then I upgraded a second pick with efficiency and unbreaking, combined the two and boom, efficiency 5. Threw mending on that beast, but to turn it into netherite I'd need upgrade templates. Turns out I only had one, but I'd stacked up so many diamonds by now that I was able to duplicate it until I had 5. Yeah, I forgot to turn on recording, but I used all the templates and netherite to upgrade my armor and pickaxe. And just look at this gear now, it looks absolutely awesome. While I was still at the farm, I repaired the axe and crafted a new shovel. After some trial and error, I finally managed to get a silk touch on it. Then combined it with another shovel to get efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3. Before heading back to the overworld, I finally picked up the dragon egg and brought it home. I placed it on my castle's balcony, and honestly it looks beautiful up there. I started noticing that this area where the mountain slopes down looks pretty empty and kinda awkward to cross. So I had the idea to build a small hanging bridge across to the other side. I mixed in fences and slabs, nothing fancy, and just look at how cool it turned out. Fits perfectly into the landscape. The village looks absolutely stunning now, but there is still one thing left I want to do, and that's kill the Ender Dragon again. I went back to the Nether to collect gas tears. Got way more than I actually needed. I hadn't crafted on crystals in so long that I actually forgot they require Ice of Ender too. Thankfully I had plenty of everything, crafted 4 crystals and returned to the end. Once I get the dragons in for a bad day, place the crystals, and now all that's left is to show him who's the boss again. A new portal to the Far Islands has opened. Honestly, it would be nice to go on some sort of journey now. It's been a while since we did that. After flying just a little, I came across a range of icy mountains. I really wanted to build an ice pass to travel by boat, but the problem was my pickaxe had fortune instead of silk touch, so I couldn't collect any pectites at all. Since the mountains were close to my base, I went back, grabbed a random decent pickaxe from my stash along with some books and lapis and headed to the end. There, at the Enderman XP farm, I spent a few days enchanting and grinding books. Eventually, I managed to find the Silk Touch book. I farmed the XP I needed, enchanted the pickaxe and headed back home. Finally, I could return to the mountains. Now that I had the right tool, it was time to get to work. I mined for a long while. At one point, it even started snowing. So I decided to head back home for the night. Man, it gets so dark around here during the thunderstorm. Turns out I had almost filled the whole shulker box with ice, way more than enough. My plan now was to build another highway leading to the end portal. I still had a bunch of diorite and wood just in case. So the end portal is right under the bridge. We'll need to extend the ice road in that direction. First, I expanded a small platform around the portal. Then I got to work laying out the ice path. At one point I even had to dig through the ceiling of the nether, but it didn't take long. I'm already near the right coordinates, and the portal is directly below. I built a new platform at the height of the road, destroyed the old portal and rebuilt it at the new elevation. Now we can teleport to the end portal directly, and back without issues. Now I had to finish the ice road properly. I had the path outlined, but I forgot to actually build the sides for safety. Still, the road wasn't perfect, it had no barriers. I found a bunch of glass in storage and decided to use it. Mobs can spawn on glass, so it was the perfect choice. I placed 2 chests near the portal with boats inside. Let's test the road. The key is to get the turn right Yeah, the part's a bit tricky, but I think we'll get used to it over time. Lately, we've been using the end portal quite a lot, so I figured why not to make it look good. I wanted something beautiful to pass by every time we go through. My idea was to design it like a stunning underground cave. I didn't have much stone left in storage, so I headed out mining. I dug a new branch of my main mine shaft and started clearing out a large area.
I don't know what's right or wrong, live or fade, where do I belong?
By the end of it, I managed to collect a full shulker of stone. Should be more than enough. I also grabbed some dirt from my reserves. Now the only thing left was to collect some greenery. Luckily, there is a jungle biome not too far from our base, so I flew over there.
I don't know what's right or wrong, laugh it off or light up strong.
I started harvesting leaves, vines and grass. There should be plenty, let's head back.
Be my guide, my shining light. In a world of tears and dreams, I've been waiting endlessly.
Back at home, I packed all the gathered resources into shulker and made my way to the end portal. First, I had to clear out all the blocks around it. That part was a pain, there were silverfish everywhere constantly getting in the way, but there was no turning back now. While clearing the area, I started planning out the design. The portal will sit on a small grassy island. It's gonna look amazing. Now I just need to expand the land around it. I want at least 3 blocks of the space all around. Once the whole area was carved out, I started filling it with stones, since that's what the cave will be made of. Honestly, this part took too long, but I wanted everything to look clean and polished. I'm now shaping it with the slabs to smooth out the cave walls. I added water around the island and hung lanterns from the chains to brighten the space. And I gotta say, it's coming together really nicely. All that's left now is to add some greenery, vines, scattered grass, a path from the portal and a small bridge connecting the nether and end portals. Just look at it, it turned out so damn beautiful.
Отпускаю и в небо улетает с желтыми листьями наше прошлое лето с телефонными глупыми письмами.
The next day I came back home. It was already day 498. I started wondering what else I could do. As I passed the pumpkin and melon farm, I noticed something weird. The crops had grown, but there were no stems left. That's when I realized I built the farm wrong. It wasn't harvesting, it was destroying the plants. So I ripped out all the redstone, gathered the melons, turned them into seeds and replanted them on both sides. Then I installed observers right above the stems so they could detect when a melon or pumpkin grows. Once that happens, pistons will trigger and break the fruit. All I had left to do was run redstone on top of the observers and add a few warp slabs to make it look nice. Now the whole thing works just like it should, efficient and clean. And just like that, day 500 arrived. It's been a long time since I survived this long in a single world. I discovered new build ideas and just had a great time overall. If you want to explore this world yourself, check out the link in the description. As always, I'm Skillux. See you next time!